everybody. Jeff here from Jazzwire. Welcome to Guided Listening. So we're going to do one of the most important, favorite, wonderful recordings of all time. I'm going to say John Coltrane and the lovely ballad Naima. This is off the Giant Steps album from 1959. And it's such a lovely tune, and I think it rings in a lot of our ears as being very different. It's not the typical ballad, whether it's sort of a great American songbook ballad like Body and Soul, or Polka Dots and Moonbeams or something like that, or a jazz ballad like maybe a song like Mal Waldron's Soul Eyes, or so many other great jazz musician composed ballads. This one's got a different vibe to it. So we're going to talk about what gives this song its vibe. The band from 1959 is Wynton Kelly on piano, Paul Chambers on bass, Jimmy Cobb on drums, and of course, John Coltrane. Before we get into that, I've been telling you about our newest workshop, our newest adult semi-pro amateur musician workshop. We have 4 of these around North America. The new one is in Napa, California. It's coming up March 13 through 15, 2026. So that's coming up in 4 months or so. A lot of people are really excited to go to Napa, and so enrollment is really moving along. So I hope you may visit the website and see if you can join us. We have a really astounding faculty from the Bay Area, and it's led by Mimi Fox. If you're a guitar player, you probably know Mimi Fox's name. If you don't, check her out. She's been doing videos and teaching on True Fire for years, has an international touring and recording career. She's the coolest person, and wow, what an educator. So Mimi has recommended some of the best players and educators in the Bay Area to be coming up to Napa for us. So I hope you'll be checking that out, and hope we'll get an opportunity to work with you in Napa, California in March of 2026. Okay, so getting back to Naima. One of the big things that was going on with Coltrane during this era, now this is Giant Steps, right? So the most notey and harmonically dense composing and playing like ever, pretty much, let's say, right, with Giant Steps and Countdown. So he was in this mode, but he was also moving, I said, mode, moving towards modal music. He had recorded Kinda Blue with Miles Davis. This song is about sparseness, and it's about shifting colors. It's about pedal tones. There's only 2 bass notes in the entire song. There's an E flat and there's a B flat, and it's droning, a drone. So Coltrane, and I know this because of my good friend Unjin Shah, who he and I do a ton of work together. He's a fantastic saxophone player, and he's just written a really important research paper on Coltrane and his sort of spiritual, meditative, religious awakening around this time, how it influenced his music, his deep interest in Indian music and meditation, everything else. So this song has a tanpura sort of drone in the background. The tanpura is that big, tall instrument with 3 or 4 strings on it in Hindustani music, and it drones, and then people sort of play over it. So we have this drone sound in the bass. We have rhythmically, it's quite pared down, the comping in the tune. It's very interesting. And interesting for a Coltrane tune, there's no sax solo. There's just a short piano solo in here. So I thought about it. Do we want to listen to a Coltrane tune where Coltrane's not soloing? I think we do. This song has such a mood to it, such a vibe. Why? It's a good question. It's a very good question, because Coltrane, aside from stating the melody, does not solo on it. And the piano solo is quite subdued. So what's going on here? Let's check it out. Let's dig in. This is Naima. So listen to the bass. That note. Keep staying there. Octaves. And listen to the comping. It's all whole notes and half notes. Everything's moving very slowly. Again with the whole note comping. And now we have a different, this is the bridge of the tune. Right? That different drone now. But it's still those octaves, that B flat. And of course, Coltrane is lovely sound over top. Now we go back to the last A section of the song. And notice the comping is exactly on B1 or 1 and 3. I never noticed that before. There's no fills. How everything's moving so deliberately. So here's our piano solo. And notice the bass is keeping that note, but there are chords shifting over top. And that's what's very different harmonically than so many other songs. Usually the bass is moving with the harmony. It's the foundation. It's literally moving when the chords move. Here, chords are moving against a static bass. Here's the bridge. And this is the bridge being a different set of chords, right? And this is our different pedal tone. Everything's moving right on 1 and 3, right? So Wynn Kelly is playing some different rhythms over top, but it's so strong. The bass part and even the subtle brushes playing by Jimmy Cobb is really moving 1 to 3, 1 to 3. So interesting. We would expect it to be more complicated, is my thought. And when I play this with other people, it's usually more complicated. Okay, so we got to the end of the solo, and Coltrane jumped to the bridge. He's not playing the whole melody, so he's really wanting to make this shorter. He chopped out half of the head out, and he didn't solo. I'd love to know the thinking in the studio, why Coltrane didn't solo on this. And they made it a tight little 4.5 minute long piece. Are we hearing any vibrato in Coltrane's sound? Listen to it. So subtle. Very, very subtle. It's really a straight sound, if we had to call it one or the other. Little bit of vibrato, but much more straight and declamatory, and the vibrato gets added towards the end. They tag it more times than most people remember, myself included. Climbing up this scale, inversions of the chords. Four minutes and 20 seconds. I don't know if there was some time limitation on the album. I'm kind of guessing not. There could be those things. Every album I've done, we've had to keep an eye on how much time and how much we can fit on a given side. Back when it was vinyl and everything. But part of me is thinking, and if anybody knows, the story behind this, please let us know. But it feels to me like he just wanted this tight, concise, beautiful little statement, right? He didn't want the Iliad. He didn't want Homer's Odyssey. He wanted a haiku, right? Just something just beautiful, perfect, distilled, just like that. And now this is a song he did record live, and I haven't gotten back to those recordings in a long time. So because of sharing this with you today, I'm going to go back and listen to some of the live recordings and check out Coltrane's playing over it. But it's interesting that note again that this was some of the most harmonically dense playing in the history of jazz by one of the most technical masters of that kind of stuff. But this was also the beginning of Coltrane going in his modal direction, in the direction of albums like Impressions or India, or on and on, as it going towards the end of his career, and Live in Seattle and Ohm, which was issued after his death, I think. So there are Coltrane scholars out there that know lots more about that stuff than I do. I used to know it, I forgot it. So it's a fascinating dual place in his career where he was kind of doing two things at once. A beautiful song. If it's one that you haven't played, if you look at the lead sheet and it looks a little scary, it is. It's kind of hard to play this on the tenor saxophone with the control that he's playing with, to make sense of these chords with the pedal tones. Yeah, it's different. It's a really different way of thinking. And I'm glad we got an opportunity to talk about this, because it's a really singular piece in the history of jazz, and especially in 1959, when we think about other stuff that was going on in 1959 and post-bop. And it was an incredibly rich period, an incredibly rich year, frankly, 1959. And listening to this, and I was just really struck by Wynton Kelly's and Jimmy Cobb's playing of just how very square, which is sort of not a great word for it, but how precise and deliberate the movement was. And I'd love to know if that's something that Coltrane kind of talked about, or whether they got it. My instinct is they probably talked about it and rehearsed it to get it just like this. I'd love to know. Let me know. All right. Well, thank you for spending time with me on this one. And definitely check out the website. I hope you'll check out the Napa, California Summit. And if you're, looking for an excuse for a trip to California and Napa Valley, this is it. If you happen to be in the California area, please share this information with musician friends, teachers, whoever it is can come in and join us. And we have other summits in Edmonton, Canada, in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and in the Washington, D.C. area. So I would love the opportunity to work with you and to get you working with our incredible faculties at each location. Hope to see you this year, and I will see you right here next week.